second. Oh, we're live now.
We're live.
Oh, let's go.
What's up? So yeah, we're finally live. Like to welcome y'all to. I guess this is the officially beginning the 2024 Shoals Wiffle Ball season. I'm David. Got Cody here to my left, and Tucker to Cody's left, and Robbie on the screen from um, Athens at the moment. Right? That looks like your house. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So got a lot in store for y'all tonight. Our goal was kind of to just build some excitement about the new season, which begins a week from Saturday. Is opening day, weather permitting, of course. But yeah, so that's exciting. We want to talk tonight some about last season, about how awesome last season was for the most part. We also want to kind of talk about some things that are different for this season and some things that'll be the same, and kind of why we think as good as last season was, we think this season will be even better. And so yeah, we can call this the official Shoals Wiffle Ball League Studios is what we'll call this. My goal. I apologize for being late, by the way. We had some trouble with well, I'm not gonna say it because they're helping, but the thing that we're using has some trouble with it. But it seems like we're live now. If you comment, I think we should be able to read it. I hope if this works the way it's telling us. Cody, can you just look on your phone on YouTube and make sure we are live on YouTube at the moment? We're live. Oh, sweet. Yep.
So if you're on there,
Yeah, we're here. We got one person watching. It's Cody, actually.
it's not Cody.
It's
You never
not
clicked
me,
it.
Oh, hey, shout out to you, whoever you are.
Welcome.
Yeah.
You should comment.
Yep. Yeah, but my goal is to maybe not every week, but a few times throughout the year, maybe on Thursday nights, have probably shorter shows than we're going to do tonight, but just kind of updating everybody on how the season is going. I also hope to get more actual gameplay on social media this year is one of my goals. By the way, if I know not a lot of people are watching at the moment, but this will be recorded on YouTube. You might be watching it in the future. If you are interested in helping a really cool, up and coming, growing wiffle ball league with live streaming videos and or recording their games and getting those posted, and you want to volunteer for that because we don't have any money, holler at us, shoalswiffle@gmail.com, or you can contact us we are on Instagram and Facebook. But yeah, so first thing it's kind of on the agenda tonight that I want to talk about is last season and how last season went. So last season we had 3 teams last season, and all 3 teams are represented here, which is cool. We had the River Bandits, me and Robbie, and a lot of other people, but then we had Whacking Plastic, which Cody was on, and then we had Pitching and Griping that Tucker was on. And the season, one of our goals was to have as equal as can be, pretty equal competitive league. I feel like we accomplished that. I know the first week of the season we kind of played round robin, and every team was 1-1 after the first week. The second week of the season, I think Pitching and Griping went 2-0, and so they went to first place and never looked back. I think they were in first place for the rest of the season. But I think y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I think the final season standings were Pitching and Griping their record was 9-6-1. River Bandits were 8-8, and then Whacking Plastic was 6-9-1. Right? Is that right?
So
Yeah,
I could be wrong, but I think
that math's right. Yeah.
It was close.
Yeah, and that was, I mean, there was literally a play or two the last week of the season that if it had gone the other way, all 3 teams would have been 8-8.
I think if we would have swept the last series.
Yeah, and that was
Been first or something like that.
yeah. I don't remember what all our tiebreakers were and stuff. Cody, you might want to get a little closer to the microphone,
my bad.
but yeah, there, that's a little better. But yeah, so it was exciting. It was up and down, and then so the way the playoffs worked last year. So Pitching and Griping was the 1 seed, River Bandits were the 2 seed, Whack and Plastic was a 3 seed. So the 2 and the 3 played each other. The 3 had to beat the 2 twice. River Bandits won that game 1-0, very close, and then turned around and a few days later played Pitching and Griping for the best 2 out of 3 World Series on what felt like the hottest day of the last 35 years. It was, I feel, at least 120 degrees that day. Robbie almost didn't survive.
This is true.
But yeah, and so that first game I think was 6-0 in the River Bandits way. The second game was 3-2.
It's 3-2 with the walk-off walk.
Yeah, a walk-off walk, 3-2. I think Robbie was the one that was walked.
I was at bat. Yeah.
I think we had 2 outs too, and
Full count or something.
yeah, it
It
was
was full
yeah.
count. Yeah.
Yeah, and so the River Bandits ended up with the World Series win, but it was a very, very competitive season. I think there were, being our first season, there were some records that were set, some that I think might stand for a while, but we'll see this year. Yeah, so that was kind of just the recap of last year. And so we just recently, and we'll get there, but we just recently voted. Everybody that played last year had an option to vote for an all-league team. We decided to go with 5 hitters and 3 pitchers. Unless there's a tie, which I think there might have been. And I just realized that information is on my phone that we're being used as a camera, but I said it out loud, so maybe y'all can help me remember. But and we voted for the top 3 in MVP, and we also voted for the Fielder of the Year. And I said that to build a little bit of suspense because we're not announcing the winners of those yet. We will. Let's just a little tease. Let's give them one. Let's give them one of the hitters. The hitter that got the most votes last year for to be on the all-league team was Braxton Glaze.
Braxton.
Yep. Braxton Glaze he both led the league in batting average with a 500 average. He had 22 at-bats, by the way. 500 batting average, and he also led the league in home runs with, was it 7?
He had
7 home runs. So that's one of the sorry. No, hold it. Just lean a little bit forward with me. Yeah, because we can hear all that.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So Braxton got the most votes for hitting. Braxton had a big year. Braxton plans to. I've talked with Braxton. He's told multiple people. He's made it known. His goal this year is to break that home run record. He's not the only one with that goal. I feel like I've heard Robbie say that is also your goal. Is that correct? To break that home run record?
That's correct.
So we will have one less game this season. Last year we played 16 games. The schedule is kind of set for us to play 15 regular season games this year. But Braxton set that record last year, and I think he maybe only played in half the games and set the record, maybe a little bit more than half. But yeah, there were multiple weeks that he wasn't able to be there and still set that record. So it can be done. I know Cody hit 3 home runs in one weekend.
Speaking of, Braxton just texted me and said, "Record is mine. Let's go."
Yeah. Hey.
Counting on you, Braxton.
Yeah. Shout out to Braxton. So Braxton, you are on the all-league team as a hitter. We will discuss Braxton will be one of the players we discuss about this season because his jersey color has changed, and but yeah. So I want to real quick go over some of the year-end stats from last year, and so if you look here are the home run totals from last season. We have obviously Braxton at 7, Robbie there, number 2 at 5. Robbie came in strong towards the end of the year and really made up a lot of ground the last couple weeks of the season. Scott, Cody, and Gorby with 4. You had Justin McCrary from the River Bandits had 3. Those were all in one day. Our guy Tucker over here also had 3. So did RJ and Nick P. They all had 3. I feel like every one of RJ's was a walk-off, every home run he hit. I feel like he's either – last year was either hitting a walk-off or walking. I think there was a Saturday where he walked every single at bat.
What was his batting average? Do you know?
Yeah, I can pull that up. RJ's batting average. That's a good question. RJ's batting average.
He either struck out, walked, or hit a home run.
I think he had
Yeah.
a decent batting average.
Yeah, RJ had a 364 batting average.
It's good.
Yeah. I think his batting average was above 500 until the last game. I think he batted in against Robbie, and Robbie dropped his batting average to a little bit. But
Happened to us all.
yeah.
Respectfully.
Yeah.
Respectfully.
And then we had Ben Wells at 2. Both of those 2 were that opening week. I think we can also say one of the most impressive swings of the year was that first game of the first week with the River Bandits against pitching and griping. And Robbie was pitching. And was it Connor was pitching?
Connor, yeah.
Yeah. And both of those are the 2 hardest throwers in the league.
Yes.
And I mean, that game was Harley, who also hit 2 home runs, hit a home run. I feel like it was the first pitch of the game, and put pitching and griping up 1. And then
It wasn't the first pitch of the game because I was the first one to hit a home run.
okay,
It was my first to bat, and I was like 3rd or 4th.
but I think y'all had already played a game. I think you hit a home run in the first game.
Had we?
Yeah, I think y'all played Black and
Okay.
Plastic first
Okay, then
game.
it might have been.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, because you'd already hit a home run in the first game. Yeah, you hit the first. That was Shoals Football League. You got the first home run of the whole league. Yeah.
Nobody can take
It's
that
in
away from me.
history. forever.
Yeah. And so that game, both of those guys were, I mean, it seemed like untouchable. And Ben, his second at bat, got a hold of one and hit a 3-run home run. And I think those were the only 2 hits in the game. And I think the game was 3-1. It might have been.
It's either 3-1 or 2-1. But I think that game kind of set up for the rest of the league last year as being super competitive.
Yeah.
It was one I wasn't playing at the game, but it was one of the most competitive. Like I was fired up watching the game. It was that good.
Yeah, that was a fun game. Eli Martin also hit 2. Tristan Beck hit 2. Tristan Beck was the manager of pitching and griping. Shout out to Tristan.
Shut up.
I think he had both of his in the same day also. Mark hit 1. Knox Martin hit 1. I hit 1 off of Cody here, right? I hit my 1 home run off of
You
Cody.
hit
Yeah.
1 home run,
Grand slam.
and I think y'all had already put up 4 runs or something, and like some of the runs didn't count because of the run limit.
Yeah, that's right.
Still counted as a home run.
Hey, we should have a grand slam list, and then David Ferris here, the host of this wonderful thing, he would be one of only, I think, 2 names on that.
He's always won.
RJ hit a walk-off grand slam against us that first week.
He did. It was very impressive.
Yeah. Go check out that video on our Instagram page. It's still saved where he hit that. But hey, shout out to Houston is in the chat. River Bandit there. Going to be playing his first season this year.
Houston.
But yeah. Yeah, that was I felt I don't know how I should have felt because I hit that home run and everybody on both teams was so excited and congratulating me, including the team I had just hit the home run off of. So
Except me.
I was like it was such a surprise to everybody that I think hit one over the fence. So, but we're working on that. Will Gordon hit a home run. Shout out to Will. I know Will also hit a couple in the playoffs, and then Sarah Simon hit possibly the hardest hit ball of the year, and it was off of Scott too.
Yeah, she corrected that.
Yeah.
Either her or I believe it was Robbie hit one all the way.
Oh, that first week, that home run
at
Robbie
least
hit.
150 feet.
Yeah. Yeah, it was almost to the road. So if you haven't come out and watched this, come out and watch this, see where the gravel road is. Robbie almost hit it to the road. And Eli crushed that one off of Ben in that championship. In the championship
Yeah.
when Ben was pitching.
Between Eli and Nick P, they was the two most terrifying hitters, I think, in the league because they just had a really strong swing.
Nick P. When he connected with one, it was a supersonic boom.
Oh yeah.
Like playing third base, trying to defend him because he's such a heavy pull hitter. You just better be ready because he's going to hit one right to you, and he's probably got one of the hardest hits, I think, in the league.
Shout out Nick P.
Shout out Nick P.
Pitching stats. My goodness. Robbie had 41 strikeouts in 17 innings. Second was Scott, had 39 strikeouts in 19 innings. Mark had 34 strikeouts in 21. Connor had 23 strikeouts in 8 innings. Was it 8 times 3? 24? So he had 23 out of 24 possible strike. Like,
Yeah, that's impressive.
that is incredible.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Will, similar numbers. Will had 19 of a possible 21, if I'm doing my math right. Pastor Jason, had 18 strikeouts. Ben had 15 strikeouts. And Eli had 13 strikeouts. But Eli is not allowed to pitch anymore.
It's not, sadly. I
Shout out to Eli
Shout out
and
Eli.
Pastor Anthony, who's not allowing him to pitch.
He's not on my team anymore, so good.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for me, but I just kind of want to camp out at Robbie's stats. He had 41 strikeouts in 17 innings pitched, and I did the math. That's almost as close to 3 innings or 3 strikeouts an inning. I think it averaged out at 2.5. That's insane. That's insanely good.
I appreciate that, Cody.
Very impressive.
And in just 17 innings, like that's just amazing.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. I think what's cool too, and in our league last year, we had both Eli Martin and then Caden McCormick also pitching, and those dudes also killed it this year as pitchers in high school baseball. Caden for Wilson and Eli for Florence. I think those are two of the best high school baseball pitchers in this area right now, and it's cool to have those guys play wiffle ball with us or play last year.
Eli was so tough last year.
And then we got batting average leaders from last year. We had Braxton had batting average of 500, which doesn't matter what level you're playing at. That is impressive.
Yeah.
Shout out Braxton.
Yeah.
Shout out Braxton.
Scott had a 444. Eli 438. All three of those guys. Well, you've got. Then Tristan with 421, Harley with 400, Gorby with 387, Nick P 375, RJ with 364. So if you've got 5 of the top 6 on the same team, having said that, pitching and griping, their team batting average. Well, at first let's tell you Whacking Plastics team batting average was 250. River Bandits team batting average was 252. Pitching and Griping batting average was 396. As a team, they almost hit 400 as a team.
Yeah, we did.
I mean, that's a
crazy.
that's a team record that will be very, very hard to beat. They had Whacking Plastic had 13 home runs as a team. River Bandits had 15 home runs as a team. Pitching and Griping had 21 home runs as a team.
That's also going to be difficult to beat.
Yeah,
It's really difficult.
yeah. So that's awesome. That's going to be a record that stands. And you just look at that those batting averages there, and that's impressive. I think that's the only stat slide we do. Let me pull up. We didn't put it in a slide on our Instagram, so I didn't make a graphic for it yet. But I will also throw out as far as ERA goes. Robbie had a sub-1 ERA. Now we also base our ERA on 3 innings instead of 9 innings. Still very impressive. Sub-1 ERA. There were 5 earned runs against Robbie the entire season, which leads me to my next point as far as the all-league team goes. Robbie was by far and away voted on one of the 3 best pitchers in the league and got the most votes for best pitcher in the league. So congratulations, Robbie, on that.
Well deserved.
Yep.
Well deserved.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Number 2 behind Robbie was Mark Lowry from Whacking Plastic. Was voted, I guess, as far as voting goes, the second best pitcher in the league. And then number 3 was Scott Ivy, was the next voted as. So those were, and it was kind of those 3 were kind of a good bit ahead of everybody else as the 3 best pitchers in the league. And I think you saw that week in and week out. And that's kind of a combination of strikeouts, ERA, innings pitched, because there were a lot of pitchers that were very tough that just didn't get near as many innings pitched. I mean, Connor, very tough, great pitcher. His stats were 8 innings pitched, 14 earned runs, 23 strikeouts for a 5.2 ERA. Caden McCormick that we mentioned, he only pitched 5 innings, but only allowed 2 earned runs, had 5 strikeouts for a 1.8 ERA. Eli only pitched 7 innings, but only allowed 5 earned runs, 13 strikeouts for a 2.2 ERA. David, I only pitched 1 inning, allowed 7 earned runs for a 21 ERA. So, I was just right there, just a little bit behind those guys.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
One of my favorite pitching performances from last year was, I can't remember if y'all was playing us or the pitching and Griping. I think it was Will was pitching, and I think he pitched the full game, full 3 innings, and every out recorded was a strikeout.
Yeah, Will was Will Gordon, a great pitcher, pitched 7 innings, 16 earned runs, 19 strikeouts, and I think if you take really 1 inning away from that, I mean his ERA, if you take 1 inning out, his ERA is way up there. I mean he was incredible. I feel like him. He was pitching. Like, I mean, that dude's he's a professional pitcher. Him and Eli both.
And Will's a state champion.
Yeah, shout out to Will. Will, former All-State pitcher there. Sadly, as Will was a River Bandit. He will not be playing this season. God has called him somewhere else for the summer, and so he won't be joining us. But he is a River Bandit for life. Shout out to Will.
R.I.P. Will. Love you,
Yeah.
Will.
R.I.P. as a wiffle ball player. Will.
Did he die?
Yeah, that sounded really. God has called him
Yeah.
to heaven.
It's saying-
God's called him to heaven for the summer. R.I.P. Will.
No, Will's still alive, everybody. Will is still alive. He's
Shout out
just,
to funeral.
yeah, he's
Shout out
just,
to Will.
yeah. Shout out to Will. He's just not going to be
And following God's call
Playing.
in your life.
this
Hey,
season.
I
Yeah,
want to just a second more on Will, man. He, coming out. I don't know how much wiffle ball he had played in his past coming into this league, but I mean, I could just see leaps and bounds from the first outing he had. Just some conversations with him and stuff. Hey, again, just shout out Will, man. You progressed super fast. Like Dave said, you take out really an inning, and you are creme de la creme, brother, and you were just period over the season. So, shout out, man. Good pitching.
yeah. Will was in the playoffs. Will was untouchable.
Yes, he
I mean,
was.
it was untouchable. He threw. It was that playoff game against Whacking Plastic. He threw all 3 innings, didn't allow a single run. Just a great performance from the mound.
Was that the quickest game of the year?
It might have been. That was a quick. Mark also threw a great game. Only gave up 1 run, 1-0. That game lasted felt like 18 minutes.
I think it was a bases loaded walk or something.
Yeah.
Or a
That-
single or something.
Yeah.
That
Hey,
that was the difference. Now the River Bandits did have Robbie sitting there with 3 innings still left. If that series went to 2,
Was you there, Robbie? I
yeah,
don't
he was there.
yeah,
Yeah, he was there.
Okay.
yeah.
He was there.
I just wanted to say shout out Mark too, man. He was phenomenal. I mean, from a pitching standpoint, and really, obviously, a good hitter. But man, that kid when he was on the hill, it was just you come up to the plate, you're gonna every time you're getting a challenge. So shout out to Mark, big Mark Lowry as well.
Mark's stats: 21 innings pitched, 20 earned runs, 34 strikeouts for a 2.9 ERA. That's tough to beat.
He carried our team pretty well last year.
Oh, I clicked on the wrong thing.
Are Dave, are awards being announced on this live stream today?
Yes, that's what we have next.
I bet. Okay.
I'm trying to find the final numbers though for those. So y'all talk about something quickly while I'm trying to find those.
I can't wait for this season.
Since she was the best pitcher in the league, realistically and statistically, I guess, is a good description. I don't know how to word this, but when you take the mound, like you just have that dog mentality, I guess. How do you
Yeah.
But take me through your mindset of, because what people don't realize that's watching this, Robbie, he pitches 84, between 80 to 85 from, what was it, 38 feet last year?
Yeah, last year was from 38 feet.
38 feet. And I would say for me personally, the first weekend I faced you, I was able to see the ball better than I did later on. So I'm just wanting to know, like, how you approach on the mound, like when you're pitching, and I don't know, just throwing as hard as you can, because that's what people don't realize. That's really ridiculous how hard somebody can throw with the ball.
Dude, well, I appreciate you, Big Cody. I mean, honestly, dude, just having fun, bro. I mean, it's like you're out there, you're playing wiffle ball. You got fun dudes like Tucker, man. Like we're cutting up all game, all sorts of like just everyone's having fun, man. And like obviously you're there to win, but I mean, you're really just out there and you realize like, hey, man, we're playing pickup wiffle ball. I'm just gonna play as hard as I can, do the best I can, and whatever happens, happens. And at the end of the day, like it's just an awesome league, awesomely ran, awesome players in it, and dude, like just having fun. I would say maybe I mean, yeah, like I said, you always have that winning mentality. You want to do the best you can, but I would say overall, just like realizing what it is and just having fun with it. To be honest,
Like, I think, I'll be honest with you, the one hit that I got off you, I hit it up the third base line. And I think the only reason I got that hit is because um, I think it rained the night before or something. And me and Tristan was blowing off the rain to try and dry the field. And I think that's why I got the hit.
dude.
Now,
No,
I'm forever
Cody,
proud.
I wholeheartedly reject that. You got the hit because you got the hit. There was no
Definitely
external factors. You got a hit.
That's true.
I do have a question for you though, Robbie. Speaking of the whole, your mentality on pitching, what's going to be going through your head now that you got to get ready to throw it a different distance?
Dude, no, that's completely valid. We had some this off season there was a little politicking behind closed doors and I realized, hey, whatever's best for the league, we got to do. So they said we're scooting it back a little bit if you still want to throw as hard as you want. And dude, I mean, you say you feel ready. I think it's gonna be fun though. I think it's just gonna provide a new challenge. Whatever. I think is it 5-6 feet further back? I guess with no speed limit.
3 feet.
3 feet. Okay.
That 3
So
feet can make a mile though.
what's up?
That 3 feet can turn into a mile.
Oh, 1,000%. You're on the money, especially when you're pitching with this thing that has tons of holes in it and can, in a matter of 2 feet, just drop off a table or fly straight up into the air. Like, so, yeah. Oh, it's a whole new layer. It's a whole new challenge. But I think, like, this is gonna sound so nerdy, man, but I've just been throwing it around a little bit from those dimensions, and I think it's gonna be another good year. So.
You still able to control it as well as you could?
Um,
It'd be a little bit more difficult.
it's definitely more difficult. I told, full disclosure, I told Dave, I was like, there will be more contact this year, not just from me, but I think pitching around the league
So,
and hitting around the league, there will be more contact. More grounders, probably more fly balls.
That's a good thing though. Entertainment.
so
Yeah,
when you say that, how are you developing more pitches? Like, obviously, if you back more up, it's giving more people more time, just a slight second longer. But are you trying to adapt to like new different pitches besides just a fastball? Because I still swear that you've learned something last year. Because
Yeah, we got it on video.
I don't know.
Yeah. No. I feel you. Hey, by the way, shout out Braxton. He's out here commenting on the chat here.
And Braxton, you are going to be on the mound this year a lot
Hey,
more.
Real quick, while Robbie's thinking on his answer there, let me answer, which I answered it in the chat, but Houston's question from earlier, which I realized I have not, he's on my team and I haven't given him this information. I apologize, Houston, but he asked, where do we play at? We play at, there's a field next to Christ Chapel on Cloverdale, which is behind the kind of that Jackson, that McDonald's right there, not far from Walmart. We play in Christ Chapel has graciously allowed us to use that area of grass, and so we kind of build a field there most Saturdays, and that's where we play. We got a parking lot. They let us unlock their youth building for bathrooms and water fountains and stuff like that. So yeah, and air conditioning between games and things like that. So
Much needed sometimes.
yeah. Shout out to Chapel for allowing us to use those facilities. They do want to make sure everyone is aware that this isn't. However, this is not a church league. They're letting us use it, but it is not anything run
Still,
by
shout
Chapel. Yeah, shout out to them.
out. And Pastor Bobby. Just because.
Pastor RJ's dad.
Awesome pastor, awesome church.
And if y'all don't have a church, y'all should come hang out with us. So
And that was for free.
yeah.
Was there a question being asked, or are y'all ready for me to read the award winners?
He kind of answered it.
He answered it, I believe, unless you got more to elaborate.
All right. So we've already announced the 3 pitchers. Robbie got 96.6% of the votes for pitching. I want to know that how he didn't get 100%, honestly. And then Mark was next with Scott right behind. Also up there, they got quite a few votes. You had Ben Wells got 27% of the votes. Eli Martin got 24% of the votes, although it would have been more had he pitched more. Same thing with Will Gordon, got quite a few votes, got 17% of the votes, and had those guys been able to pitch, all 3 of those guys, had those guys been able to pitch a little more, I'm sure those numbers would have been much higher. We have announced that already that Braxton got the most. He got 89% of the votes for one of the best hitters in the league. Second place with 79% of the vote is Scott Ivy. So Scott was third in pitching and second in hitting. According to, again, this is just voting. This is not based on stats. This is people that played last year. Next, after that, for best hitter was, as we already talked about, probably the most impressive swing of the year was Ben Wells. Got 65% of the vote. So those are the top 3. We're going to have a top 5. So next is with 55% of the vote is our guy Robbie there. So he had the 4th most votes. And then we had a tie for next. So a tie for that 5th spot between Nick P. from the River Bandits and Gorby with Whack and Plastic. Also had a great hitting season. They both had 44%. Right behind them at 41% was Eli Martin.
Speaking of Mr. Gorby, he's wanting an invite.
Hey, Robbie, can you text Gorby that link that I texted you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Give me just a second.
Okay. Gorby, if you're listening, you're getting a link sent from Robbie. But so really that's the top 6 because we had a tie for 5th. But I'm good with that. I think all 6 of those guys were. I was only on the mound for 1 inning and gave up 7 runs. And I didn't even get it out by the time I gave up 7 runs. But I feel like if you're pitching, you get a little nervous when those guys get up to the plate.
Wasn't Gorby the only one that got multiple hits off Robbie?
Scott. Yeah,
Okay.
Scott got a couple of hits off of Robbie. Gorby did get a very solid hit that, up the middle, hit the fence in the air. I really, though, honestly, I feel like the batter, other than Scott, the person who, as the manager for the team Robbie was a part of, the one who made me the most nervous was Tucker's brother, Harley.
Oh, yeah.
That at bat in the championship where it was 12 pitches that Harley kept fouling off, and then he got a hold of one. Just luckily, Jordan, shout out to Jordan, was right there. But
Jordan, my man.
Yeah.
Harley also walked him a lot too.
Yeah.
Harley was a stud.
Too bad he's
Oh,
retired.
yeah. Harley did announce his retirement at the end of the season last year.
I hear they're
So good.
I think so.
Yeah, I heard.
Who would be doing that? Pitching and griping because they don't.
Because they're not.
And how do you retire a jersey when you didn't have jerseys and you didn't have numbers?
Just ask the Supersonic, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, we did that announcement was put on that retirement announcement was put on our Instagram page. I have heard rumors. I have heard that Harley might have. It seems like he ended up not deciding to not come back. But I think he flirted with pulling a Tom Brady and coming out of retirement.
The return, baby. The return.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see next season.
Just go for it.
Just don't put him at pitcher.
Honestly, Harley somehow would manage to pitch it just float it, and it would definitely 99% of the time hit the very top of the strike zone. And even trying to just sit back and just barrel it up, he couldn't.
Only thing is, though, that'll only work for one inning. 'Cause
Yeah.
we saw that. The second inning he gets put in, launched his home run. It was hard to watch.
And so we also asked for people to vote. Well, we'll wait. Did you text Corby?
I texted him, and I said, "Let me know if you aren't in." I also texted him the link, and I haven't seen a response to either yet.
Okay.
Can you see if he's in?
He's not.
Okay.
Picking up weird sounds from the microphone. I think it's
Is it the chair?
no. I think it's whenever you get a text message or something. I don't
No,
know.
I cut mine off.
Oh, I don't know what it is. Are you hearing that? Were you hearing that a little bit, Robbie?
I wasn't. No.
Maybe it's just my headphones.
Chairs.
No, it was something like staticky. But anyways, we will go ahead and announce the MVPs. There were two that
Okay, I'm so sorry, Dave. Chris just texted, said he can see and hear everything. For some reason, he just can't chime in or chat.
Shout out Gorby.
tell him to. Oh, I don't know. Is he looking at it in the link you sent, or the? Is he looking at it on YouTube?
Let's see here. I believe it's the link I sent.
Oh, I don't know. It should. Whenever he clicks on that link and allows the access to use his mic and his camera, he should be able to join our live stream here.
Actually, I'm sorry. Dave, I messed something up. Give me just a second.
Oh, okay.
I accidentally sent him the YouTube link.
Oh,
Oh,
that makes
Yeah.
sense then.
Yeah, and not
Okay.
Tristan's
actual.
also tuning in right now. Shout out Tristan.
Shout out to Tristan. Does Tristan want the link?
Do you want the link, Tristan?
You can text it to him, and just in case. And if he doesn't want it, he doesn't have to click on it.
I don't have the link, but
Oh no, you don't have the link.
I don't.
Never mind.
I
Um,
will say I'm gonna miss Tristan being my manager, coach, player guy. He definitely brought a lot of intensity to our team.
yeah.
It really made us all have a winning attitude about
He-
it.
he-
I really enjoyed having.
He brought intensity to the entire league, I think.
I feel
shout-
like he really upped the competitiveness of it, and I really enjoyed
I
playing on
agree.
this team.
Yeah. Shout out to Tristan. Yeah. Oh, there's Robbie.
Okay, I have sent him the correct. he should
Okay.
be here momentarily.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so we will let him join quickly, but we'll go ahead and while we're waiting on him, we will announce MVP voting.
What's going on?
What's up?
There he is.
Who
Yes.
do we got? It is the manager of Whack and Plastic, Chris Gorbatoff, straight from vacation or straight
Yes,
from
sir.
another part of the country.
Jackson Hole.
Yep. So we will announce then. What we'll announce now is the vote for best fielder, and it was kind of ran away with this one. The voted on by your peers and other players. The winner of best fielder was Chris Gorbatoff.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Not even close.
Yeah. It was.
Man.
It's not.
It was by far. I mean, I can think of. There are just a handful of plays. Like when I think of defensive plays from last year, I think of Gorby almost throwing out Tucker at home.
But he did.
He didn't, but that was such an impressive defensive play, though, just to even make
Hey.
that close.
I wish we had video replay.
Hey, we
I
do.
may have
Go-
got that out.
Yeah, go look on Instagram for that play. That's one of our most recent reels that we did, and then I also think of a diving catch that you had when you were pitching, where you caught a ball, and then I think of the play of the year was when Anderson Spencer, shout out to Anderson for the River Bandits, hit what should have been a home run and Gorby robs it off of the top of the foul pole, pretty much, and
Ridiculous.
he's running kind of parallel with the fence. Is in any other angle, he would have completely taken out the fence, which is a no-no in our league. I mean, he perfectly one of the most athletic things we saw the whole season. Just perfectly robbed that home run in a way that didn't hurt himself nor any of our equipment or fence. And yeah, so I think I that's you are who I voted for. So
I appreciate y'all.
Give you your flowers.
As well as I, brother. As well as
I
I.
gotta come clean with this.
Appreciate y'all.
That play where he almost got me out at home, he did get me out.
oh man,
Oh, the
I wish you would
confession.
have said that.
The
Listen,
confession.
The confession comes.
With it, and I thought I was out. Y'all were staying out. My entire team started saying, "No, he was safe. He was safe." So I was like, "Yeah, I was safe."
But do you think about the video he was out or safe?
You can't tell.
By the
I
video,
think it was-
you can't see.
It was a bang bang play.
It was very close.
It was close. It was close.
I am the one that made that call, which apparently was the wrong call. So I apologize
It was
to
like mid step on the home plate when it hit me.
yeah.
Like I was
It could have
almost
gone
there.
both ways.
I apologize to
Yeah.
Whacking Plastic for that call. I'm sorry.
No worries, David.
Yeah, and other than Gorby, the only other player that got multiple votes was Tristan Beck.
Heck yeah.
He got a handful of votes. So shout out to Tristan, also a great defensive player.
He definitely held it down for us at third base.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, are you in the bathroom right now, Gorby?
Bro, I'm multitasking. I'm fixing my hair, man.
Oh, okay.
oh,
We're about to
Okay.
hit dinner.
You gotta look at you for the camera.
Yeah. Okay. So now what we've all been waiting for. Sorry we've taken so long. MVP voting. In third place in MVP voting. You can't really tell by this because it was fill in the blank. But third place was Braxton Glaze.
Shut up, Braxton.
I will say, Gorby, I don't remember the exact numbers, but you were close to getting in the top three. Third place was Braxton Glaze. Shout out to Braxton. Braxton, it's impressive that he got third place without pitching an inning.
That is true.
Just based on his hitting, he hit the ball so well that he got voted third place. He has said in the chat that he is going to take his talent to the mound this year. And I will confirm that that's a good decision for him. We've played some pickup games and he's pitched some there and done really well. So he's coming for that. He's coming for that MVP trophy next year. Second place. Do we have a drum roll? I wish next time we need one of those things where I can make noises. Second place. Shout out to Scott Ivy. Scott was second place. It was really close between second and first place. Scott had a great season, both on the mound and hitting. I mean, Scott is whenever Scott comes up to bat, the other team is terrified. Ask Ben Wells, who was told to pitch around Scott, did not pitch around Scott, and Scott hit a couple home runs off of him. But Scott, great hitter. So shout out to Scott, who just joined. Yeah, I don't know if he just joined, but he is. Scott's in the chat, and Scott was also a great pitcher. I will say this: I think everybody would agree with me. Scott is, and I think we're all growing in this. Scott is he's a wiffle ball pitcher. He knows how to make that wiffle ball do some crazy things. I think he brings some wiffle ball cred to our whole league. Scott.
He's a very commanding pitcher on the mound. Too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
If he wants you to swing at it, you will swing at it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And he spins it through the zone. He doesn't try and spin it to the zone. He makes you think when it's coming at you that it's a strike, but then it tells way too far off the plate and he just looks stupid swinging.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
loves it when you chase.
Yeah. Scott will make you, if you're not on the top of your game, Scott will make you look like a fool when when he's pitching. So, yep, Scott came in second place, which means the winner of the first MVP award for the Shoals Wiffle League, voted on by the people that played against him, was our very own Robbie Frainer.
Let's go, Robbie.
Congratulations.
Dude, man, appreciate you guys.
Yeah, yeah, man. It's cool. Scott and Robbie were the two that were in every category here. They were both on the top 5 hitters, both on the top pitchers, and then there is no surprise that they are 1 and 2 in the MVP race. We're still trying to figure out what that trophy looks like. But we'll figure something out.
It's Chick-fil-A.
Yes, sir.
chicken train.
The spicy chicken
Just
sandwich.
one nugget for every award.
I got you, Robbie.
But I was thinking maybe do some certificates or something that you can so Robbie would have 3 or 4 of them that he could start as the seasons go by, fill up a whole wall of them.
Hey, we gotta have a trophy, Dave. Listen. The MVP of the Shoals Wiffle League is by far the greatest achievement one could ever have. Okay, so I think it's even a greater achievement than maybe graduating college, or I mean, honestly, if I had
Or
the
having
MVP,
children.
I would give up anything.
Guys, I can't. This is a just elation right now. I mean, knowing that the MVP is in our grasp, it's an honor. It's an honor.
Well, it was a joy to play with you last year, and I expect the same this year. I'm glad you chose to be on my team. I remember it was so quick story. As we the idea for Shoals Wiffle Ball started from me and Cody and Gorby. Was it just us 3?
Sergey was there.
Yeah, Sergey. Shout out to Sergey. Sergey also got a vote, by the way, for Filter of the Year. Shout out to Sergey. We will miss Sergey for a little bit because he is on the injured list. But yeah, so me, Cody, Gorby, and Sergey were at lunch at Zaxby's and came up with the idea for the Shoals Wiffle Ball League. And after that, it became where whenever anybody was at my house, we got in the front yard and played wiffle ball. And it was a lot of fun until that first time Robbie played with us. And the first time he threw the ball, we were like, whoa. All right, well, whose team is this guy going to be on? So luckily, he ended up a River Bandit. So
You should have switched the yard goose. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Dave, if you don't mind, man, I was gonna say a few words, man, as the MVP.
absolutely. Hang on, let me
Floor's yours.
Yeah.
Need to put on some.
and go. You're on the big screen now.
Oh heck yeah, man, dude. First off, brother Gorby, brother Chris, insane fielding this year, man. Awesome. That was like a no contest, and I have to address
Brother,
one of the
appreciate you.
Absolutely. He said, MVP is the greatest honor of this league, but I got to be honest with you, brother. I got to take a step back. The greatest honor is winning a championship and a World Series in this league, and that is something that the River Bandits did as a team, and so that's the highest honor. And dude, just that I will say, yeah, this feels good, but that felt amazing. Like when we won that was awesome. So and then yeah, this comes second. So shout out to my team, shout out to my teammates, man. I'm gonna actually, you know what, I'm gonna try to list all of them. If I leave somebody out, I'm sorry. You know who you are. You were tight. Shout out Justin, Martez, Sergey, Ben. Shout out Anderson, my boy Jordan, who came with me from Athens a few times. Shout out. I said Justin. Let's see. I said Nick P. My guy Nick P. just bombed the ball consistently. And let's see. Am I missing anybody, Dave?
Will.
Will, dude, Will. My bad, man. You already know I bragged on you earlier in the show, bro. You came on strong for us, and yeah, I mean, there's no way we win the series without you. So,
Did you say Ben also? Yeah, you said
I
Ben.
did say Ben. Yeah.
Yeah, and Sergey. Did you say? Yeah, that was one
I
of the first.
did.
I have short term memory loss.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. So shout out to all you guys, man. Like, it was a fun year, and also shout out this year we got Johnny coming on board. We got Houston coming on board. You guys are fixing to be. We got Caleb coming on board. We traded up. Big Dave traded up and got you. So all you guys, man, y'all are about to be. It's going to be a fun year. And then the biggest shout out of all. Shout out Big Dave Ferris. I don't think we can give enough credit for him starting the league. And so just sitting here now, getting the MVP and stuff, it would be retarded. Actually, sorry, that's not PC for the live stream. It would be terrible.
Code of
For
conduct, Robbie.
it would be terrible for me to not mention the man who started it all. So shout out to Dave, masterfully put it together, and masterfully crafted our team that won it all, and used me in ways that got me to the MVP. So, dude, this was a fun year, guys. Shout out to Pitching and Griping. Shout out to Whacking Plastic. You guys did awesome, and also shout out to Scott. Dude, Scott. Yeah, you can't say enough about the man. Came in second, but like David said, we all know. I mean, this man, he is the epitome of a wiffle baller. And if a weekend, literally one weekend or even one game goes a little differently, he's the MVP. So shout out Scott, and shout out to Braxton coming in third, as well as anybody else who may have gotten votes. So you guys all did good. It was a fun year, and we'll get it going here in about a week and a half.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's been, I think, even listening to you as you're mentioning all these guys, I think one of the best things about this league so far has been just kind of the community that's been built around it. I mean, if I wouldn't know Tucker if it wasn't for this league. I wouldn't know Scott. Those, I consider those guys, really good friends at this point. And I met them through wiffle ball. Wouldn't have known Mark except through wiffle ball. And so yeah, I think that's been really cool just to see. I mean, it's just fun, man. It's just a lot of good guys just having fun together. That sounds a little weird, but you know what I mean. And yeah. But I will mention quickly just some other guys that got some MVP votes. Mark, you got some votes. It looked like I can't really see all of those, but I know Eli got some votes. I know that Gorby got some votes. I know Harley got some votes. I know Ben got some votes. Jason got some votes. Which, hey, shout out to Jason, man. I think if there was an award, we didn't have one, but if there was an award for especially pitching, most improved pitcher, like that was. If there was an award for single nastiest pitch, that little knuckle curve thing that he landed a few times was ridiculous. Yeah, so shout out to Jason. He got some MVP votes as well, and Nick P got some votes. I don't know if I already said that, but Will got some votes. I think Connor got some votes, but yeah, it was. I mean, it was an awesome year. Which announcing all that we can kind of now move towards. That was, I felt like a very thorough summary of last season and what last season was, and so now we can kind of move into, this won't be near as long, but what this season is going to look like. So last season,
Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
Dave, can I literally have like 5 minutes, brother, and
Okay.
and since we're transitioning to to this next phase for this season, yeah, I need the big screen. I'm like Stephen A. Put me on the big screen. Listen,
Go.
listen. So I just got to say, today I was taking a 7-mile hike around around a lake called Jenny Lake, and the Tetons are to my right and the lake is to my left. And as I was hiking, something came over me, and I just looked at the mountain, and I heard something deep within say, "Whacking plastic. That's you this year." Last year we were at the base camp, but this year we're going all the way to the peak. We're going all the way to the summit this year, and so I want to personally just say, we've added a lot of pieces this year. I feel like the talent has increased, but also we're 1 year wiser and 1 year smarter. And I just want to take this opportunity to personally call out the Yard Goats, the River Bandits, and whatever Cody's team name is, the Udder Tuggers. And I just want to say, listen, I'm guaranteeing today, this moment, I'm guaranteeing a trophy for Whacking Plastic. The
Wow.
championship is guaranteed today.
Wow.
My team is locked and loaded. We're ready.
Timestamp.
Guarantee
Uh-oh.
it. Mark it. Put it down.
1 hour, 1 minute, and 10 seconds.
You better
Wow. This
Put
is
it down.
Yeah.
hey, this
Yeah,
is
this will come up again. Whether it be Gorby being a prophet or us laughing at him, that clip will come up again.
I can't wait to, time skip like 15, 16 weeks in the future and Whacking Plastic is 4th ranked team.
Hey, you don't get the biscuit unless you risk it.
There you go.
That's true, I guess.
No, but I'm super stoked for this year. Y'all are awesome. I'm super grateful to just to do another year of this league with you guys and guys that I love and respect, and also, just super. It is. Yeah, you turn left. But anyway, hey, appreciate you guys. I'm about to sign off. Excited for another year. Whacking Plastic, Air Sharks. Let's go. Let's get it.
Air Sharks. Which,
Have fun.
yeah, which is a great transition to what I want to talk about next is last year, as we mentioned, we had 3 teams last year. This year, we will have, and y'all let me know in the chat if for some reason if the audio messes up or not, because we have no way of knowing this. But we will have 4 teams this year. And so I know we've already kind of talked about it a little bit, but with Tristan deciding not to play this year, life's a little. It's very busy for him, and he's still going to be a part of it, kind of behind the scenes. Still going to be there when he can, which I'm very excited about. But pitching and griping will not exist this season, and so those players from pitching and griping that are playing this year have been kind of split up into some different teams. And so we will still have Whacking Plastic and the River Bandits. They're both coming back for year 2. But we will have 2 new expansion teams this season. The first one being, if you look at Tucker's shirt, the Yard Goats. That team is led by Scott and Tucker. And so it's them and some of their friends, and expect big things from them this season. That is the Yard Goats.
A lot of rookies for us.
Yeah, which I just remembered that I have So 3 teams last year. Sorry. And then we also have Cody has a team, which I think they're leaning towards the Wampin Wombats.
Yeah, shout out Philip for coming up with that.
Yeah, the Wampin Wombats. They do not have a logo yet that they've all agreed on, but we're hoping to get that soon because we will be posting a lot of stuff on Instagram starting in a few days.
Josh, if you're listening, I need that logo.
Yeah, shout out to Josh. But yes, these were the 3 teams last year. So every team, however, has even the 2 teams that are coming back have changed their logo a little bit. So this is the logo last year for the River Bandits. And then the River Bandits won a championship, and so they did a lot of change to their logo. They added a star. They will add a star every year that they win a championship.
So it's just gonna be 1 star.
It might be. And then we had Whack and Plastic. This is their logo from last year that they rocked with last year. They have changed their logo, as Gorby alluded to, and this is their logo. They have also they are Whack and Plastic, and they are also going to call themselves Air Sharks, I think. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but that is their logo this year. And then we also have, as you saw on Tucker's shirt, we have the Yard Goats. I agree with Houston here. He says, go ahead and add another star to the River Bandits this year.
Yes, sir.
We got predictions being made everywhere. So those are, and then like I said, Cody's team. So Cody's team, which let's talk a little bit about the teams. We'll start, I guess, with the teams from last year. The River Bandits, they, for the most part, are the same team. And let me fix this correctly. The River Bandits are mostly the same team. They, as I mentioned, we will not have Will this season, but we've added, as Ben said, we've added Johnny McDuffie. Shout out to Johnny. We've also added Houston Lucer, who is also on the chat. Shout out to Houston. Expect big things from you this year. And we also traded the first trade in Shoals Wiffle Ball League history. We traded for Caleb Jackson. Caleb Jackson was formerly on Whack and Plastic, and he is now a River Bandit. So that, for the moment, that is the River Bandits right now. We have Whack and Plastic, who I need to pull up the rosters. But Whack and Plastic is the same core of really good players, the same core of Gorby, Jason, Mark, Gray, Austin. Is there anybody that I'm missing from that core? They did lose Cody. Cody obviously had to leave Whack and Plastic in order to start the Wampin' Wombats. So they will. Cody was one of the top hitters in the league, and so that is a loss for them. But they added can I see this? Yeah. They added some key players. They added Noah Bishop. So shout out to Noah. They also added John Blackston. They added from the draft. They added Josiah Booker, Ben Heinkel, and John Clayton. I'm missing, of course, who might be my dark horse for if Robbie does not win it this year. My dark horse for MVP, RJ Gorley. Just throwing. Oh, look who we got.
Hello.
What's up?
Hey,
we got one of the managers, coach of the Yard Goats, Scott Ivey, also going home with a lot of silverware from the voting. But yeah, so that I'm glad you're here, you and Tucker, which lead into my next thing. We have the Yard Goats, which are Scott and Tucker, and then a bunch of their friends who the rest of us haven't met yet. I look forward to meeting. Is there anything you want to say about kind of your team and what you expect from them, and maybe some key players that you expect a lot from this season?
Yes. I'm looking forward to this season just because of the, trying to pick up on what me and Tucker left off last year with the pitching and gripping team. Lost in the championship game, so I'm hoping we can, me and Tucker can kind of get our, let's say, revenge on the River Bandits, the black team, the enemy team, right? As far as people I expect to do good, I'm hoping Tucker does good this year on the mound. I know he's going to be getting some work. He's looking forward to it. And then a few of the other guys, hoping Camden, I'm hoping he'll have a good year on the mound also, just have some of those pitching to make up on. So, I'm looking forward to this season. And I didn't get to say it earlier. I was watching, but I've been at this event thing. But I did want to say shout out to Robbie. Heck of a season, man. Really, really impressive. If somebody was going to beat me for MVP, I'm glad it was you.
bro.
You had my vote.
I appreciate it, man. I saw your comment and I couldn't chat back, but man, I appreciate that. And dude, shout out to you as well. You were in my voting, and dude, yeah, you were a force on both sides as well. I mean, so to have you up there, it was fun. I think we had a lot of talent this year, and I expect it to be good again next year, man.
And yeah, Tucker, if you got anything to say, you go ahead.
Yeah, I'm very excited for a couple people we got on our team this year. One guy being on a slow pitch softball team that is one of the best in the champion. I mean, it's best in the state. He goes to a lot of tournaments. He's a very good hitter, so I'm hoping he can translate that into wiffle ball. We got a lot of speed, got a lot of power with some people we picked up. So I'm very, very excited for this year. I think it's going to be a good year for the Yard Goats, and I feel like a lot of people we got, although it's their rookie season, I think they're going to produce a lot.
Excited to play y'all. And then we've also got the fourth team, which is the Wampin Wombats, probably.
Officially announced.
Okay, officially the Wampin Wombats, and that is Cody's team, and Mason is also helping him with Cody's team. I'll give a little bit of a rundown, then you add what you think. I'll let you know these guys a little more detailed. I mean, so Cody's team did pick up from PG last year. They do have Braxton and Eli, which were obviously, as you've seen from stats and MVP votings, two really, really good wiffle ball players. And that's going to be those two guys, and Cody is a solid core right there. And then you also add Mason, who we we do have a question, which I think is a very good one. Tristan asked, can Cody please explain the Florida shirt?
So, long story short, like Florida baseball, and it's baseball season, and I was supposed to go to a baseball game in Vanderbilt when they was up there a couple weeks ago, and I just didn't go. And I had come home from work, and I saw this in my drawer, and I was like, "Why not?" So,
You also you'd been accepted into graduate school in Florida at one point, but then decided, yeah. So thought he bought some merch when he expected to go there, and then decided to.
well, they just never sent me the registration for classes, so
That'll do it. That'll do it. That should make you not like Florida.
That's what you think.
I hate Florida. Sorry.
Well, I may jump ship. We'll just see. We're not doing too hot right now, so.
Hey, Tennessee is in both softball
Tennessee
and
and
baseball.
Florida is the best in the SEC. So,
But yeah, so one thing about Cody's a huge Bama softball fan, season ticket holder. So if you ever need a Alabama softball expert, he
and
is
I'm
your
trying
guy.
to get some of that seniors to play Shoals wiffle ball.
Yeah, so that's who he's trying to recruit.
Dude, Dave, I'm so sorry to cut, man, but I actually have to run as well. So, but man, dude, what an awesome show.
Yeah, man, appreciate you. We're coming towards the end, but yeah, appreciate you, man. Looking forward to this season, and if y'all should come watch Robbie pitch, everybody who hasn't seen it, come watch him pitch. But yeah, man, you have a good evening.
Appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate all the love and the kudos, and y'all too, man. Tucker, can't wait, man. Cody, can't wait. It's gonna be a fun year. Hey, last remarks here, all right? It's no secret, all right? You saw Houston already mentioned in the chat. Look, we're hungry. We're hungry for another one, and either y'all are gonna let us take it, or you're gonna stop us. It's that simple. So, we want it and we're coming for it, but it's going to be fun. Regardless of what happens, we're going to have fun playing with you guys. All right.
All right. Well,
It's going to be
bring
a
it
very
on.
competitive year this year.
So,
All right, boys.
All right, see you, man.
See y'all.
Yeah, where are we? Oh yeah, the Wampin Wombats. Yeah, so those, and then shout out to Mason. Mason's a baller, good athlete. He's also added Adam Willis, great athlete, really good basketball player. We'll see how he is on the football field. His buddy John Staggs, who is a good baseball player, we will say that. Former college baseball player, good baller. And then also you've got shout out to Philip, which will, if you haven't met Philip, meet Philip. He is one of those people that just, it's always more fun when he's there. Sneaky good athlete, but just hasn't played, a ton of wiffle ball. Also got Josh. Shout out to Josh. Josh is another sneaky good athlete. Josh is the one working on the logo. And they got a few more guys. I think he will hopefully from time to time get Knox Martin to come play. Knox is Eli's little brother. Knox was a very good player, definitely the youngest guy in the league, but his skill level, you would not guess that he was the youngest guy in the league. So expecting big things from Knox. And then as Noah, the only one I'm missing. Yeah, shout out to Noah. Noah will also be a vital part of what Wampin Wombats plan to do. Anything you want to add?
Just looking forward to leading a team. I think with my team, I'll be honest, I don't know much about my team. I know Braxton and Eli, they're just ballers. Knox was pretty good last year when he played a couple times, but just looking for I feel like the one time I had practice, it was me, Josh, and Philip, and just how quick both of them was able to catch on. We'll probably go through some growing pains, but I think, I'm looking for us to peak towards the latter half of this season.
Peak is what you said.
Yeah. You
don't have to hold it.
As a team,
We'll have bathrooms. Let it go.
As a team, I'm hoping to get to that level toward the latter half of the season in the playoffs. We're going to be a pitch by committee because unless we just have somebody like Robbie that just steps up and can throw gas, but
that's going to be Noah.
It's going to be Noah or Philip. But
Might be you.
Hey,
You might learn it.
I've gotten better, but
I second that.
But just having fun. I really want to take on the role of teaching people how to play this. So just really looking forward to what we bring. Heavily going to rely on Braxton to be pitching too, so be practicing.
Well, he said he's ready for it,
He's going to be on the mound, probably first game.
Yeah,
I'm excited to face him, honestly.
yeah. One last thing I want to mention: there are a few differences other than just having 4 teams this year. Some of the big differences is last year. I think we all agreed that one of the biggest issues was how many walks there was that slowed games down, that just kind of got a little repetitive at times. And so one of our goals was to try to fix that. And a couple ways that we did that is this year there will be 5 balls for a walk instead of 4. So hopefully that will cut it down and give the pitcher a little bit room for error. And then also we, as Robbie alluded to, everybody just super scared of Robbie. And so they want to make rules just for, I'm just kidding. So we do have change from pitching distance. Last year we pitched from 38 feet with no speed limit. This year the pitcher will have the option of either pitching from 35 feet, which is 3 feet closer, which I think will help a lot of people.
Yeah, we've seen the benefits in
Yes.
pickup games.
Yes.
Everybody that was pretty decent from 38 feet was elite from 35.
Yes. Yeah, and guys like me that couldn't hit the strike zone from 38 feet occasionally hit the strike zone from 35.
Yeah.
We're working on that. But that will have I don't know if we've officially decided this, but I think we're leaning towards 70-mile-an-hour speed limit there. That will be checked by radar, and then back up 3 feet from 38 last year to 41. The pitcher can also have the option of throwing from there, but not having a speed limit. So we're hoping. We think. I mean, even Robbie, the hardest thrower in the league, there were quite a few foul balls that were just barely foul against him. That I think you back him up a few feet, those balls will be fair this year.
And I think too, with us moving up closer, we're going to have a radar, but we just think for keeping the game flow going, we're gonna occasionally check people's pitches. We're not going to do like every single pitch.
Yeah, that'll be based on the batting team if they want to use the radar. Like if I'm pitching, you don't need a radar. I'm not getting anywhere close to 70.
Yeah.
Luckily, if I'm hitting 50.
I would be so thrilled if I hit 70.
Yeah.
I think I might reach 68. I'm a slower pitcher, but I got a little bit of movement to me.
Yeah.
So
I'm much slower than that. But yeah, so those are kind of the big changes also in just what each week will look like. Last year, with 3 teams, we would every Saturday, 2 teams would play a 3-game series, and then 1 team would have a bye week. So this year with 4 teams, what the plan is the first Saturday, which is the 25th, which is a week from this Saturday. That opening day, every team will play every team. So we'll have 6 games in all. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be an awesome day. I think as of right now, the high for that day is 85, which is that's warm, but that's about 15 degrees cooler than the average of last year.
I love that weather.
Yeah, so that's what we're looking at that day, and then every week after that, 3 of the 4 teams will play with 1 team having a bye, and those 3 teams will all play each other. They'll play round robin, so each team will have 2 games every other Saturday. So I think, and that's a little different. I think that will help make things even more even. I think because of that, like say if I've like teams that have, like say you've got 1 really good pitcher there, you're going to put that pitcher probably against the team you're playing that day with the highest record. And so I think that will keep a team from really pulling away, and it'll also keep a team from really falling behind.
It's gonna allow each team to really be strategic.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, as somebody that's supposed to lead a team, that's what I'm most excited about. It's just the strategy.
Strategery.
Yes.
But so I think, are there any other big rule changes?
The only thing that's changing is, are we still trying to get a backstop net?
Yeah, I ordered it.
So we've got a backstop net. I think everybody that played last year remembers we had some posts in a bucket, and we zip tied tarp. And at first, we actually had a tent that held the backstop, and it broke because of the wind or something. And we're
Trial and error.
and then we moved to the post, and we actually tried to put sand or weights in there, and it didn't hold up that well. And so what we're focusing now is, like David said, we ordered a net for the backstop, and I think we're moving the score table behind there so we can
Or at least try that. See how.
try it, and we'll have a better view of the whole field of play.
I think it'll have a better view. I think it'll also lead to better, when we do record,
Yes.
better views for recordings as well.
And as far as other stuff, we've got some turf.
Yep.
The batter's box. Shout out Justin.
Yeah. Hey, why do you say that? A real shout out to
Real
Justin.
shout out.
I would be surprised if he's watching this, but Justin McCrary on the River Bandits, he is the reason so many of our structures and things work well. He's the one that came up with the idea for the backstop. He's the one that lets us use a lot of the, not just T-post that we put the fence up with, but the T-post driver that is the most essential instrument to Shoals Football League is that
So-
T-post driver.
So let's be real. Justin wins groundskeeper of the year.
Yeah, if there was,
Hands down.
if it, you know, if you were encompassing everything like value to the league as a whole,
Yes.
he's the most vital person in the league.
And like seriously, just shout out Justin because
He also really knows how to keep his eye on the ball.
no pun intended.
No,
Seriously, I want to tell that story because I was keeping bugs. for the
Wait,
game.
we'll save that one for
Are you sure?
I,
Yeah.
I think that's a story you need to get him on here for.
Yeah,
We'll get him on to tell that story.
was
I've-
great.
I've got
That's
a video of that, by the way.
that's the greatest thing. Is it on the Instagram?
No,
page?
no,
Okay.
no, not yet. But yeah, shout out to Justin. Justin, I mean, he's coming this Saturday. I meet up with him to, which our team is going to hopefully meet up and grab a dinner together. But he's bringing that turf. He's bringing all, letting us use T-posts and letting us use the poles that we put the backstop up with, and just really, he's a handyman by trade, and just very thankful for him and what he brings to the league. And as had his really big moments last year as a player as well. Had one day where he hit 3 home runs in one day, and I think that was against pitching and griping. And
Oh yeah, it was. I remember.
yeah, he hit one of those, I think, off of Scott. Yeah. But yeah, so shout out to Justin. But I think, is there anything else?
I'm looking at predictions.
Prediction? Let's do this. I would like to. We've been doing that the whole. We've all pretty much guaranteed championship.
Yeah. Well,
But I would like to.
knows about keys, but
Well, let me, while you're thinking about that, let me ask y'all real quick. If you had to pick a couple of, I mentioned RJ. If you had to pick a couple of like dark horse to win some awards, so somebody that wasn't necessarily, I think RJ would have been in the running for some of those awards had he not been walked so many times. But like somebody that you think is really going to just take that next step this season that's not on your team,
I've got,
or even a new player that you think is going to really make a difference that's not on your team.
yeah, I've got one.
What are
person.
y'all's thoughts?
Or we're gonna have the most improved player next year, or for this year.
Yeah,
I think we
yeah,
should.
we can do it. Have us vote on it. I agree.
The first person that comes to mind, because we've played a couple pickup games, is definitely Jason. I'm interested to see him moving from 38.
Jason pitched from 35 feet.
Jason pitches
is
from
tough.
35. It's really tough, especially with the knuckle curve, which for people that don't know, I'm a lefty batter. And when he throws that knuckle curve, it tends to want to break inside on me, but then breaks away. So by the time you're getting ready to swing at it, it's already broke away, and it's almost impossible to hit. I think he's going to turn it up a little bit, especially on the bat. I think his offense is going to be a lot better this year. His pitching is going to be great this year, though.
I will say, even as far as that goes, I do think. Obviously, I disagree with Corpy's prediction for the champion, but I do think Whack and Plastic as a team, they are going to be. And again, I don't know everybody on the Yard Goats, but I think Whack and Plastic might be player to player the deepest team in the league.
They're gonna be the team to beat this year.
Yeah.
honestly, going into it.
And they too, and that's the thing. Our 3 teams, we've all got big rosters, but our guys, all of our guys aren't going to be there every week. They'll kind of be in and out. Whereas like Whack and Plastic, like their best guys are probably going to be there almost every week.
I mean,
I think
2 of their best guys, they don't have jobs, do they? They're still in school.
Which 2?
I might be thinking of a different team.
that's my team.
Yeah, it's your team.
Oh yeah.
I think for Whack and Plastics, which I kind of have a little insight since I was on that team last year. Um, I think last year we were pretty solid. I think, like we talked about earlier, we won the last series, or we won one and lost one and tied, or something like that. And I think if we'd have won 2 or 3, or even swept, we would have probably been first. It was that close with the standings. I can't remember, but um, anyways, I think the key for Wacken Plastics is, I think last year, I'm definitely thinking that's Philip.
I don't know who that is.
Anyways, I think the key for Wacken Plastics is, last year I remember specifically me. There's a lot of times where our pitching was really good and our defense was really good, but offensively we couldn't get that hit. I think which I think this year they'll do it, is if that all three of that phases of that game, if they do well at it, they're going to win a lot more games. They're definitely a team I don't want to face in the playoffs.
Another hot take here. Another dark horse I would say is I would say Tucker. I would say, man, like
Yeah,
what
thank you.
I think the first few weeks of the season, you were one of the best players by far in the league, and then I think when your job kind of changed up on you and you weren't able to be there consistently, it kind of threw things a little off. But I mean, you were like we already mentioned. I mean, hit the first home run in Shoals football history. I think even y'all's team kind of grew after that first couple of weeks. And so even when you were there, it was hard to get in there consistently. And so, I mean, it's the same thing with my team from time to time. It just, when it's good to have big rosters because when you got guys that might not be there every week, but then you'll have those couple of weeks where everybody shows up and you've got to figure out a way with 6 innings to play 12 guys. You can only play 5 at a time.
And you want everybody to play.
Yes, yeah, especially during the season.
Yeah.
You want that, but yeah, I would say, man, like you being there consistently this year throughout the year, and even within, you having kind of a leadership role on that team, I think is one of my dark horses.
What about Gray or Austin? I will say Gray last year made the most
Sneaky fast.
sneaky pass. He found a lot straight back off of Robbie a couple times that he faced him. I think just with his speed alone, his gameplay could be elevated.
But both of those guys are good athletes, coordinated, good athletes. Both of them got, which I say a lot of people follow this, but just got better every week.
They did.
Better hitting, better fielding. And they weren't bad at all to start off with. I mean, good athletes, but just I think that's what you see a lot of guys that just haven't played, especially guys that didn't play like high school baseball, or haven't played baseball in a long time.
Yeah.
Just the more they get that timing right, just get better every single week.
It's definitely hard to just come in and just cold
Yeah.
turkey.
Oh, yeah.
playing. It's hard to adapt.
Yeah, and try to hit a ball that's going at
Yeah.
your feet and jumping up to your chest.
Breaking 3 feet.
Yeah.
I got a couple of predictions though for awards. I think most improved player this year probably going to be Sergey.
Well, the sad thing about Sergey is I don't know how much he'll get to play this year.
I think the little bit that he does play, if he's
Yeah.
able to, I think he's going to show out.
Shout out to Sergey. Had some injury issues that put him out for, if not the whole season, a big chunk of the season, which he is going to be. Yeah. Which he is. I will announce this. Sergey is going to help me kind of manage River Bandits, so he will be there a lot. Which Sergey is another one of those guys like Philip that just it's more fun when he's there.
And
But-
you never know what he's going to say.
I think Sergey might, if we had an award for last year from beginning of season to the end of the season, Sergey might have won the award last year. And if you don't know Sergey, guys from Russia, he had really kind of learned baseball a few weeks before we started when we went to a Trash Pandas game. And so this guy had never really swung a bat. It took half the season for me and Robbie and Will to convince him to swing with two hands instead of one. But once we convinced him to swing with two hands, he didn't strike out for the rest of the year.
That is true.
Yeah. So, yeah, that guy was, and he was very good defensively. I mean, just as like when you talk like hand-eye coordination, I mean that guy. It was so impressive to see how much better he got as somebody that, you know, again, come from a different country that doesn't play a lot of baseball to just, you know, every week got better and better. Also, great trash talker.
Yes.
You know,
For sure.
he can
For sure.
he can, as a Russian, he can threaten you with things that just the rest of us can't threaten you with.
I mean, he can tell you to have a nice day in Russian, and it'll just sound like
Yeah.
the
Oh yeah.
worst insult you've ever
It
heard.
just sounds aggressive.
It's all out of respect,
Oh, yeah.
as he would say.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Sergey. I'm glad, even though you're not be able to play a lot, I'm glad he's still,
So-
you know, River Bandit for life.
Also got a prediction for who I think is going to be a very good hitter this year. Might be up there with the 1 and 2 spot. I think Kel Underwood. He's rookie on the Yard Goats. I think he's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
What's his name again?
Kel Underwood.
I don't think he signed up, has he? Oh, yeah. He put his last name. That's right.
Oh, okay.
He was the second guy to sign up on your league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's I think he's going to be a force to be reckoned with at the plate, and I think he's going to be a hard out.
Mhm.
So I'm very excited to see what he does this year.
I've got
Remember that log that.
I've got a good question. What's it going to take for River Bandits to win back to back?
I thought you said trade Robbie.
No.
Well,
So-
we'll let you trade Robbie.
because
None of you that.
because just in general in sports, in general is pretty difficult to win back to back. Just kind of walk through that.
I will say this: I think the team we have this year, I think Will is a huge loss, obviously, but I think the additions of Houston and Johnny and Caleb, I definitely think we're just as good as we were last year. Now with the River Bandits, we are a little different from the other teams. When if you looked at a map where the people on the team live, we've got 3 guys on our team from Mississippi, 2 guys from Athens. So we've got guys. Half of our team is, driving at least an hour on Saturday mornings.
Dedication.
Yeah. So I think when we have all those guys there, I mean, I think we'll be hard to beat. I'll say that. I feel confident we can compete with anybody. We'll see who has their best day pitching or whatever on those days. But I believe in our team. There's still another piece. I would like to add before the season starts. That's another change for this year. Last year we made kind of the deadline to add players halfway through the season. This year we made the deadline for the draft a couple weeks ago, but we can still add. Each team can still add a player or two but once that first pitch is thrown in a week and a half, rosters are set.
Which, by the way, if you haven't paid your fees and you're supposed to pay
Yeah.
before the first game,
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
looking at like half my team. Which Braxton and EY are good, but
Yeah.
I think something that I liked about River Bandits is y'all stayed consistent. I think y'all improved game after game, and then all the pieces were just pieced together when it mattered. And I think y'all got the best pitching depth probably in the league, and I think you are capable of winning every single game. It's just a matter of if a pitcher's having a good or bad day that it's going to come down to. Because I think your offense is going to be better this year.
Hey, shout out to Harley for just joining. You've missed all the good things we've said about you. But yeah, no, I believe in the River Bandits. So it's been one thing about us I think that's cool is like everybody on our team. So I feel like I am by far the worst actual wiffle ball player when it comes to team managers by a lot. And I will say that is definitely not what I bring to the table. But I feel like my advantage is probably recruiting and how I've been able to kind of get the team together because a lot of the guys on my team did not know each other. And they were all kind of, they're friends that I've made from Mississippi, friends that I've made from, multiple different churches, a couple guys I went to high school with, a couple guys, there's a guy that I worked at Foodland with back when I was in, getting out of college, like, all these different, but, and then they, we all kind of came together and became really, really close, and they all kind of just worked well together and made a good team. And that's been kind of cool to see. Just for me personally, friends of mine from different walks of life and different stages of life that are now have become friends with each other through wiffle ball, and then have some more added to that this year. So Harley does say, is his jersey going in the rafters? We did talk about that. We're not sure.
I heard it is, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. The problem is we need both a jersey and rafters.
That is true.
Like we should just put just a blank blue shirt. Everybody just knows it's Harley's. But yeah, we did talk about, you're the only one that we put, their retirement announcement on our Instagram page. So, but
he really put his heart and soul into that team last year.
Yeah,
and he will be missed.
You also missed where I said that you were as the coach. He said he'll take a statue. We'll work on that. We'll see how much league money we've got left. But
I'll be mad at the start again.
I did say as the manager for the team that Robbie was on, Harley. I've already told y'all this. But Harley was the scariest batter for me that came up to the plate when Robbie was pitching. I feel like if anybody kind of had, not necessarily Robbie's number, but had timing down to where they were consistently making contact.
Yeah.
Against Robbie, and obviously the only one up to this point to ever hit a home run off of Robbie. It was the first bat of the year, but still, yeah, that's an impressive accomplishment. But
by the way,
we just got a prediction that Philip Lindsay will be the MVP of the season. Respectfully,
Philip, yes. I hope your prediction's right, because that means if you win MVP, our team is doing good. So I hope that's true.
I've never met someone with more confidence than Philip Lindsay.
I love it. Philip's a good dude.
By the way, David, I have an offer for you. Would like for you to trade Robbie to the Argos, and I have a $15 Texas Roadhouse gift card for you.
No, it's gonna. I don't know if I would trade Robbie to the Argos for a lot of Texas Roadhouse.
I think everybody's tried everything.
I would not. Yeah, there's no amount of anything.
So, speaking
worth a shot.
Yeah, I mean, I've been offered. I'm not going to say who, but I've been offered an entire team, including the manager that was trying to make the trade. He offered himself
What's
also.
the point?
for Robbie.
That's the worst trade in history.
Obviously, that was Gorby. And Gorby's like, hey, if it takes me having to become a river bandit to get Robbie on whacking plastic, I'll do it.
You gotta love Gorby.
Oh, Gorby. I've heard Robbie's nice nightmares. Yeah.
I don't think he does actually. After winning that MVP, I don't think he does.
Oh man.
Well, yeah, y'all got anything else y'all want to say? We've been on here for an hour and 45 minutes. The moving forward, this was planned to be the longest one. These will not be near this long moving forward. But if there are any questions in the chat, let us know quickly. If not, we're going to jump off of here soon. But anything else y'all want to add as far as prediction or observations or
We've got a lot of new people.
yeah, we had, I think, to what Cody said, I think we had around 30 last year that played, and this year we've got, I think, upwards of 45.
So I'm just looking forward to meeting all the new people, connecting with them, and obviously playing with ball, but just enjoying each other's company. And yeah, it's gonna be hot, but it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. And if you do end up being a really good player, expect for somebody from the River Bandits to take you out to dinner at some point. Always.
Or just crash their championship dinner like I did.
Yeah, our championship dinner was the River Bandits and Cody.
Just so you know, you're not getting anyone from the Yard Goats unless you give us Robbie.
Okay.
So
Okay.
That's
I'm
a
okay.
that's a bold
I'm not
prediction.
getting anybody from the Yard Goods.
Well, you literally can't have nobody on my team because I won't have nobody. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think for the most part, I think the rosters are pretty close to that. I know the Yard Goats has added 2 players this week. And then, like I said, I've got another player we're thinking about, but we'll see. But it's gonna be a fun season. Come out, join us Saturday mornings. Typically, if weather permitting, we probably about 9 to 12 is when we'll be playing on Saturday mornings. We will play, as we've already mentioned, in a field next to Chapel in Florence, Christ Chapel in Florence, off of Cloverdale. Come join us. If you're not already, follow us on Instagram and on Facebook. We put Instagram is kind of the place where we do a lot of our updates. We put the scores to every game. That's where we put the different statistical leaders on there. That's how we through Instagram. It's been kind of cool. We've connected with other wiffle leagues all over the country and finding there's kind of a wiffle ball community out there, and I think we're slowly becoming a part of it. People are starting to recognize the Shoals Wiffle Ball League, and so hopefully it continues to grow. And yeah, it's gonna be a fun season. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Hopefully, it's not quite as hot as last year. That's what we're praying for. But
I hope so.
I hope it is.
I hope so. I love the heat.
We're the young team, so we're going to be at an advantage when it's hot.
yeah, my team is the old team.
I think I'm the oldest on my team.
I have
Officially.
half of my team is older than you, Cody.
I don't even want to talk about it.
I know at least 4 players on my team are older than you. Probably 5.
Yeah.
And then another, like Ben and Johnny, are your age.
I'm fisting big 30,
So.
and it's just
30's great. 30's great.
we'll
But
see.
but anyways, we will, like I said, go follow us on social media. We will see y'all soon. Hopefully, see y'all the 25th, and see y'all kind of regularly here on this YouTube page, doing kind of summary shows. Maybe figure out a way to put some highlights in here. But yeah, we'll see y'all.
Let's get it
We're gonna-
started. Let's go.
Let's get it.